Archer, Hua Mulan, at your service, master. I swear on my family, I will defeat all foes we may face.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Anime Void. I'm Brian, your host, and I am introducing another one of my fan servants. This time, the Archer, Hua Mulan. Art once again done fantastically by Kama. And yes, I did specifically ask for a green uniform because I was kind of inspired by the Disney movie, but that is the only bit of Disney reference I have in this, and you cannot argue with the results. Kama, once again, hit it right out of the park. I can't thank her enough. And if you like the art and are interested in these characters I'm making, please stick around at the end of the video for a special announcement. Hua Mulan is a Chinese folk heroine whose story really started getting told from like the 4th to 6th century. And I'm pretty sure we all know this tale so far. Maybe not the specifics of the original, which I mostly am taking from, but it's about how the Emperor of China has put out an order for all the families to give at least one male member for the army to combat the invading forces. Now, in Mulan's family's case, her father is aging and sickly, and her little brother is far too young. Both of them are incredibly unfit for war, but the Emperor's demanding them anyway. So what she does is that she poses as a male herself and goes to war. And during that war, she actually becomes a very decorated hero to the point that the Emperor wants to bestow upon her a great role of honor in his empire, in his court. She ends up graciously denying this offer, wanting nothing more than to go back home. And the tale ends with her going home, and she's joined by the men that she fought alongside with, and it's then revealed at that point that she was a woman all along, and it just shocks the men. And she just says this line that I'm going to get into later that wraps it all up really nicely. But again, I'm going to get into that last bit later. And so that's the character, and that's the broad stroke story. So what about the servant? Well, with the skills, I wanted to be a bit more straightforward with them because it's a pretty straightforward character. I didn't want to complicate it too much. So her first skill is to protect my family. So just like how she geared up for war, she's gearing up for battle with this skill. She gets a quick efficiency up and an attack boost. She's ready to fight and ready to get right down to it. Her second skill is decorated by the Emperor, because again, that's what she is. So she gains a large amount of critical stars and increases her star gather rate and increases the crit damage for her quick cards. Just the quick cards. I didn't want to make it too crazy, but she is a very quick servant. I'm not thinking too much on cards with these, but I'm pretty sure she would have 3 quick cards, so yeah. Now with the 2 simple ones out of the way, let's get to the third skill, which wraps up the story of Hua Mulan. This skill is called 2 Hairs Running. And what this means is that when Mulan reveals herself to be a woman, and the men are shocked at this, she just simply says, the male hare has larger front paws. The female hare tends to squint. But when they're running side by side, close to the ground, can you tell me which one is which? I paraphrased a bit, but that's what is the final line. And it is a very simple notion. It's just like, yeah, we're running side by side. We were in war. We're in battle. Are you really going to care about gender in that moment so long as we are side by side, helping each other, running through the battlefield? And so this skill gives Hua Mulan evade and temporarily changes her gender to unidentified, which I feel just ties everything up in a nice little bow. And then we have her Noble Phantasm. It's a quick, single-target Noble Phantasm I call the Ballad of Hua Mulan. Now, while the 3 skills are more straightforward in their designs and origins, this one I wanted to be a bit more conceptual. What her Noble Phantasm does is that, first of all, it will give Invil Pierce, do significant damage to a single target, and refund 20% of her Noble Phantasm. The overcharge effect is to increase the Noble Phantasm damage. But there's also another skill, which gives Mulan a special buff. And every single time she uses her Noble Phantasm with that buff, her Noble Phantasm refund increases. So she actually gets more back every single time she uses the Noble Phantasm. My idea for this is based on the fact that the Ballad of Hua Mulan is a generational story. It is a story that's been told, revamped, but always kept the same heart since the 4th to 6th century. That is an absurdly long time for a story like this to be relevant right up to the modern day. And yeah, there are a number of stories that also have that claim to fame, but it's still important to recognize that fame. So each time the story is told in a different or similar way, even outside of its country of origin, it is a fully global story at this point. It resonates more. It grows stronger. And that's what I want to emphasize with her Noble Phantasm. It keeps getting stronger every single time it's told. Or used in this case. And that is my Archer fan servant, Hua Mulan. Once again, I gotta thank Kama to the moon and back, and I also want to thank BlueJ73, who provided the voice of Hua Mulan at the very opening of this video. All of their social media links and plugs are in the description below. Definitely check both of them out. I hope to work with BlueJ73 again, and I am still in the middle of working with Kama, which is where I want to get into the announcement. So if you enjoy these characters and enjoy the art that's been made for them, perhaps you would enjoy an art card similar to this. Not quite like this, not with like the official border and not with Final Ascension art, it would just be the art that's been provided so far. But this is in the works. I am creating art cards of these servants that will be sold. Me and Kama are working together, we're going to be splitting the profits on this. So it would be a great help to both of us that, if you're interested, you consider buying them. There are still some things to work out, mostly at this point, where to sell them. I have a few ideas, but I'm still hashing that part out. But almost everything else is going smoothly. The art's still being produced. I will still be making these videos as the art comes out. And I have a custom-made design for the card border and the card back that will make these completely unique. So if you're interested in these fan servant art cards, I hope you look forward to them. But until then, if you want to see me and more of my other nonsense, you should like, comment, and subscribe, hit that bell icon to miss an upload from me, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I am actually doing something on Twitch right now. I'm doing a randomizer of Pokemon Emerald, and it's a lot of fun. I'm going to be posting a highlights video probably next week on this channel to just give you a taste. Very excited about it. And if you want to support this channel even further and help me create even bigger and better projects, work with more people on the internet, please consider supporting me on Patreon. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time in the void. Later.